grandma said you're either going into a storm, you are in a storm, or you're coming out of a storm. Here's number 2. Y'all gotta stop using these check cashing places. A lot of you all are depositing your money into Cash App, and you're using Cash App as your bank. No. High interest debt, like credit card debt, takes money out of your pocket, and it prevents you from investing into your future, into your family's future. Paying down debt puts you back in control of brand new cars, unless you have a net worth of, I would say, $1 million or higher. You should not be buying any brand new car. Don't keep up with the Joneses, because my question is, who in the heck are the Joneses to you? The Joneses ain't paying none of your bills. 2025, I'm not giving the enemy any more credit than he deserves. Fam, it's 2025, and I want to start off today's show by being very honest and transparent. You and we all have made financial mistakes, and that definitely includes myself as well. That's why today I really want to break down 10 things that you absolutely should not be doing with your money at all. You know, over the past, I would say year, man, I've been back in school, and while I'm teaching at Virginia Union University as an adjunct professor, I'm having to go deeper in my studying because I'm teaching freshmen, sophomores, 18 to 22-year-olds certain things. And when I was doing my research, man, I often come across, and I did come across some startling stats that have really, really just shook me. And I said, yo, I want to do a show on this. I've done a show on this before in the past, but I wanted to update it a little bit. Did y'all know that nearly 77% of US adults have some form of financial regret? Some form. That the majority of American people have some form of a financial regret. 22% of these individuals regret not saving anything towards retirement. And when I look at the 22% of these individuals, right, these are all the baby boomers. These are our parents if you're in my age bracket, right? These are the people who are already in their mid-50s to 60s. 41% of those individuals, of the 77% who have financial regrets, specifically regret taking out too much credit card debt. So nearly half of the people who have a credit card regret putting purses, food, outings, vacations, etc. on their credit cards. I want that to sit for a little bit as I'm setting up why I'm so passionate about this message, why you cannot afford to do the things that I'm about to break down today. 74% of individuals in America have experienced buyer's remorse after making an online purchase. After seeing something on Instagram, after seeing something on TikTok, after seeing something on Facebook, they buy it immediately, they get it in the mail, then a week later they regret buying it. 42% of us watching this right now have bought something that was on sale and we later regretted it. What's the top reasons? Watch this. Out of those 42%, buying something they really didn't need. 62% of those people say, yeah, I really didn't need this. I only bought it because I was going through something emotional, or I saw it and I said, I can use that. 62% of the people regretted buying it. Out of the same 42% of people who have bought something on sale and later regretted it, out of those 42% of those said they did it because it was impulse purchasing. 34% of those people saying, I already own too much. I already have too many purses. I already have too many shirts and jackets and shoes. I already have it. 19%, and I've been here, we find that same item later on at a lower price. Here's the thing that got me. This is the thing that got me. 77 of the United States of American adults have some form of a financial regret. Some form of a financial regret. This is one more time. some form of a financial regret. Nearly half of these people with financial regrets haven't taken any action, any necessary steps, or made any changes to their life to fix them moving forward. So we regret buying things. We regret putting money on the credit card. We regret living above our means. We regret not making the right decisions financially, but nearly half of us have not done anything to fix it. But here's the thing. This will not be my E3 community. This will not be our reality, because I refuse to let numbers define my life. I refuse to be a part of those statistics, and I refuse to have you, my family, my E3 family, a part of those statistics as well. And so if you're tired of spinning your wheels financially and ready to start really building something solid, and you're ready, say, you know what, Anthony, I'm a part of those stats. Yeah, I have some financial regrets within the last 12 months. You know what, Anthony, man, I had financial regrets last year. And I came into 2025 and I am somewhat already doing them. Today, I am going to be exposing the habits and the mistakes and mindsets that could be holding us all back from true financial security. Because in this year of being honest and vulnerable, y'all, I'm battling the same thing with you all. Do not think just because I got a little bit of money, just do not think just because, I have a business, do not think just because I'm the money guy that I have it all together. No, man. I got habits. I have some mistakes in 2024 that I'm not proud of. No, they're not real bad financially. But even with my business, I'm moving things around within my business that you know what? Hey, that wasn't a good move. Maybe I need to kind of reposition some people over here. Maybe redo some things over here. Maybe, you know what? Step back a little bit, Anthony. Because if we want financial security, we got to make some changes. And here is the truth that I want you to hear that is from God, because the enemy can make you believe that you don't deserve it. But no, you deserve financial freedom. You deserve a financial foundation that can weather a storm, that can go through a tornado. And by the end of today's show, I am confident that you'll understand the mistakes and the habits that you need to avoid to put you in a better position to make sure that you can build that financial situation, that financial foundation that can weather a storm, that can help you to start building wealth. But here's the key. It's not just one show. It's not just today's show. It is also going to be the show I post next week, the show I post after that. It's also going to be the emails that I send out every single Wednesday. It's also going to be the events that I start to do. It's also going to be about getting the book, my latest book, Take Your Seat at the Table, and reading this book and building a solid foundation that you can stand on, Because if we're going to weather the storm, if we're going to avoid some mistakes, we got to shift this up here. And this is why I said you got to take a seat at your table, but not just take a seat at your table. You also got to officially become a part of the E3 community. Because you know what, the E3 community, we're doing something special. And you all are going to start seeing that if you're a part of this community, I'm going to be giving away free resources to my community. As a matter of fact, check out this quick commercial. All right, family, before we get into the rest of today's show, listen, nearly 75% of you all are not subscribed to the channel. Listen to me again. 75% of you all are not a part of the E3 community. And we are literally just expanding in the areas of abundance, wellness, and freedom. And that is the main focus of this year. So listen, if you're loving some of the content, you may not watch me every single week, but if you could just hit that subscribe button and be a part of this family, there are some extra perks that comes from just subscribing. We're giving out discounts in the AO store. We're having events solely just for the community, and you will get an email with the discount code and the VIP code and all the special things that's going on. So please hit that subscribe button, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on podcast, and I promise you, it's going to be amazing. When we hit 1 million on YouTube, I'm giving away a luxury quality used vehicle to one of my E3 community members on July 1st of 2025. So listen, hit that subscribe button and let's get back to today's show. God bless. So I want to get straight into it. I'm going to move my computer so that way this camera right here can see me. 2025 and moving forward, we got to stop living paycheck to paycheck. We got to stop having this what's the proper word for it? What's the proper word that I want to use for this? This small mindset, this mindset of like, as long as I have a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food on my table, I am okay. No. That is the small mindset. We were fearfully and wonderfully made. And so there's this, a lot of people believe that God came down, Jesus came down on this earth to solely die for our sins. Well, no. We see in scripture, in John 10:10, it says that God came down so that we may have life and what? Have life more abundantly. Abundantly means that we have a surplus of things that we need, and also that includes some of the things that we desire. And living paycheck to paycheck is not an abundant life. It locks us into a cycle of stress and prevents us from building real financial security. You see, we need a cushion to weather the unexpected. Life is going to always throw us curveballs. Heck, I remember being young and life threw me a curveball and I couldn't catch that curveball because I wasn't prepared, because I had a small mindset. I didn't have an abundant mindset. And here's the truth. We can't afford to be caught off guard. What did my mama say? Or my grandmama used to always say, for those of us who are older of age, my grandmama said, you're either going into a storm, you are in a storm, or you're coming out of a storm. And how do we make sure we're not caught off guard? How do we make sure that when the enemy throws something, I'm sorry, because 2025, I'm not giving the enemy any more credit than he deserves. I think we give the enemy so much credit. As soon as something bad happens, it's the devil. Or as soon as something bad happens, that's God punishing us. No, that's just life. So listen, when a storm happens, when life happens, how do we make sure that it doesn't throw us off? It just maybe inconvenience us? Y'all, we got to start by doing 1 and 2 basic things when it comes to our finances. I was teaching this to my students at Virginia Union, and I'm actually required them to watch this show. You got to create a budget, and you also have to build an emergency fund. And this will allow you to breathe. I told you at the beginning of the year, I'm going back to the basics this year to make sure that I'm not speaking louder than people who are coming to me looking for the basics. You know, we got all these great shows out there talking about making $1 million, making $100,000. No. I'm going back to the basics. We need to create a budget. Consumer economics, we walk through this. The budget is simple. I do a zero-based budget. List all your income minus all your expenses. That should equal 0. Yes, your student loans are expenses. Yes, your tithe and offerings are expenses. Yes, your investments and that you're making into a 401k, etc. That's an expense. That's an expense. You got to list that on your budget. Then you got to build a savings account, which in 2025, if you are not putting your money inside of a high yield savings account, you're not being a good steward of your money. You're not. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. I'm going to be done with this show in 30 minutes, because I want to give y'all a jam pack of stuff in a short amount of time, because some of y'all don't really watch our full hour and 15-minute show. So I'm going to get this to you in 30 minutes. But y'all, listen, inflation grows by 2 to 3% a year. 2 to 3% a year. We're going to talk about this on another show, right? 2 to 3% a year. So this means what's $50,000 today is going to cost us $90,000 in the next 30 years. So what we got to do is make sure that our money is growing with inflation. So when an emergency comes, when that emergency goes up because of inflation, if we have our money parked in a savings account that's not growing as well, then we are going to be off. This is why I say park your money in a high yield savings account. I personally use SoFi. We're going to drop the information inside of today's show notes. Here's number 2. Y'all got to stop using these check cashing places. I walked into the gas station yesterday, and not yesterday, I'm sorry, last week. And this particular gas station, they cashed the check. And what bothered me is this is what bothered me. Not just check cashing. Watch this. It's not just check cashing. Payday loan advances. These are only in, let's be real, the black areas. These are only in the areas of the less fortunate individuals. These are only in the areas of individuals that I believe do not have access to financial literacy moments. And this is why I'm so passionate about this message. And I'm so passionate about expanding out of just teaching on YouTube and podcasts and getting inside of the colleges, because when they go into the hood, they see this. When they go back into our communities, they see the check cashing place. Cash a check for $25. Why are you cashing a check for $25? Check cashing stores charge outrageous fees, and that adds up fast, making it harder to save and build wealth. But I get it. Let's keep it a buck. Why are we going to the check cashing place? Because some of us have bounced checks. We've bounced checks, and now we're in the what? I forgot the name of that organization. It's like check something, the check system, right? So you cannot go and open up a checking account because we bounce checks. Now, listen, watch this. Some of us in this generation, what do you mean, Anthony? We don't bounce checks anymore. I can't tell you the last time I've bounced checks. Well, if you've overdrawn your checking account because of your debit card, or you've overdrawn your checking account because of using an ACH. Some of us, because we've done banks wrong, we can no longer go and open up the account. Can I be real vulnerable with y'all? I'm gonna be transparent with you all. I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all. I'm just in this season to where it's like, man, I'm just gonna be honest. To this day, I cannot open up an account at Navy Federal Credit Union. I tried. I went there with a $150,000 check to open up my business account with Navy Federal Credit Union. And because of the stupid, immature decisions that I made at the age of 19, at the age of 40, I actually went there about like 36, 35, 36. They would not allow me to open up a checking account because I was inside of check systems. Because when I was 19 years old, be real with you all, this is how interesting it gets. At 19 years old, Navy Federal, if you can just write a check and they'll let it clear. And I wrote a bad check. When I saw that they allowed me to write this bad check, I tried to take advantage of the system, and I wrote, not a lot. I wrote like 2 bad checks. I wrote 2 bad checks trying to impress people. Two bad checks to impress people. Anthony, how did you impress them? I put 22s on a 1987 Nissan Maxima I could not go in reverse. $1,200. $1,200. Bounced the check. And of course, because everything, went into collections, of course, I'm debt-free today, and I settled with them, and I paid off the balance. But to this day, I couldn't. Watch this. Because I couldn't get a checking account through check systems. Do y'all know how many times in Oceanside, California, I went to cash my check at a check system place? Do you know how much money I wasted paying a check system place to do that? You all may not be going to check systems. You all may be going to the actual bank that wrote the check. And then you go home and you put it on oh man, this is gonna be a good show. This is gonna be a good show. And then what I'm seeing now is a lot of you all are depositing your money into Cash App, and you're using Cash App as your bank. No. I got more to get through. Well, we're gonna break this stuff down, but you can't do that. No, Cash App is not a bank. I'm sorry. No. going to Walgreens, CVS, and get one of them blue dot cards, or one of those little payday, put your check on this thing right here. No, get you a bank or a credit union, because it's costing you money to do this stuff. You're loading up a card when you should just have a bank account, but I got you. Some of us have made mistakes, and I got you. In 2025, we're gonna fix them. I ain't yelling at you because we've all done it. But we gotta change the mindset, which leads me to number 3. We gotta stay away from debt. I'm not even gonna spend time on here because we see it. 40% of y'all are already regretting some of the stuff you put on a credit card. My new mindset moving forward, I ain't got a problem with credit cards. I have a problem with you paying interest on the debt. So I have a problem with you carrying over debt into the next month. My problem was not the credit card, because I understand the rewards and the points that come with it. I get it. Yeah, I just said it, y'all. I just said it. I'm writing a book about it. My problem is the debt, the bondage that we're carrying, and the interest. Oh my gosh, the interest that we're paying on our slavery. That's my problem. I said I'm gonna stop yelling too. I don't have a problem with Amex. I don't have a problem with none of that stuff. Here's my problem. We're paying them to keep us in bondage, when we should be getting paid for having our money sit in the account or in an investment account. High interest debt, like credit card debt, takes money out of your pocket, and it prevents you from investing into your future, into your family's future. Paying down debt puts you back in control of your life, and it breaks you and your family out of bondage, and it puts you in a position to start building wealth. Because here's what I gotta say. Just because I have no debt doesn't automatically make me wealthy. No, it just means I have a better place to put my wealth on. I have more margin. I can take that margin and I can invest it better, because money flows what? 2 ways. It flows in and it flows out. The more I have coming in, and then the less that I have going out, puts me in a position to build margin. When I have margin, now I can invest into things. But if I'm always paying out debt, if I'm always paying back creditors and bankers and lenders, and I'm paying them to keep me in bondage, I'm not putting myself in a position to build wealth. You see, when you're debt free, you don't have to worry about, these late fees. You ain't got to worry about these interest payment fees. You ain't got to worry about your budget being eaten up by others. You don't have to worry. Watch this. Watch this. You don't have to worry about your credit report. Real quickly, I want to thank the sponsor of today's show, Kickoff. As a matter of fact, check them out real quick.
All right, fam, let's have a heart-to-heart. You all know that I'm all about helping you get your money. But let me ask you this question. How's your credit report looking? And if you're being honest and you're saying, you know what, Ayo, I need some help, well, listen, I got something for you. Listen, I know credit can feel like this big confusing thing, but with Kickoff, it doesn't have to be. They've designed a super simple, affordable way to help you build your credit, whether you're just starting out or need to bounce back from a rough patch. Here's how it works. Kickoff reports to the major credit bureaus to help you establish a positive credit history, and you can get started for as little as $5 a month. No credit check, no crazy interest fees at all, no hidden fees, just a straightforward way to improve your financial standing. And here's why it matters the most, because it is not just about a number, it is about financial freedom and doors opening up for you. Do you want that dream apartment? Do you want lower car insurance and even better job prospects? It all starts with making sure you have a good credit profile. So don't wait. Head over to AnthonyONeal.com/kickoff. That's AnthonyONeal.com/KIKOFF and start your first month for just as little as $1. Listen, it's AnthonyONeal.com/kickoff, KIKOFF. You get it for $1. Let's get you some lower rates, especially in 2025.
And right after this, I gotta start here. Stay away from debt, but then also don't have a bad credit profile. Let's be real. While I still recommend, right, not racking up debt, I still recommend that. A healthy credit score is a tool that can save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And as much as I hate debt, I genuinely do hate it. I do understand the importance of a credit profile, which is why I'm so happy with my friends over there at Kickoff. You see, because a bad credit profile can cost you money through higher interest rates on loans. If you're going to take out a mortgage loan, it's going to cost you higher interest rates on your insurance. It's going to cost you higher interest rates on your homeowner's insurance. It's going to cost you to put down a deposit when you can avoid a deposit on your utility bills. But a good interest rate is going to help you get approved for the best interest rate in 2025 for a good home loan, for a good investment loan into your not credit card, Lord Jesus, into your home. It's going to help you avoid paying a down payment. It's going to position you to where now you can start investing into assets like real estate, like land, that now builds your net worth. Because again, we got rid of debt, so now we have something to build wealth on. Which leads me to number 5. When we get out of debt, to make sure that we do not go back into debt, we got to make sure that we do not forget to create an emergency fund. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Because unexpected expenses will come. They're coming. Whether it's car repairs, medical bills, or a sudden job loss. Without an emergency fund, without a fund sitting inside of a high yield savings account that's right now getting you about 3 to 7, about 3.8%, right now, you could be forced to take out debt. So my goal for you right now, if you have nothing in your savings account and you're still in debt, I want you to put at least 1 month of your net pay into your high yield savings account. So if your gross pay is $5,000, but you see $3,200, that's what you see, that's your net pay. I want you to put $3,200 inside of your account. Inside of it. And then go ahead and tap the debt using the debt snowball method. But let's say if you're out of debt, I want you to have at least 3 to 6 months of your net pay inside of this high yield account that we use at SoFi. SoFi is the best one out there. I love them. Quick access to your funds. You can transfer it into your checking account. You'll get a Visa debit card. And check this out. If you open it up with their checking and savings, they're going to give you $300 today. And what I like about that is, let's say, you know what, you have 80% of your money going toward your regular account. You put 20% of your money going towards this account for savings, for, emergency savings, for, hey, I'm saving up to buy a car. I'm saving up to put down payment on my home. Cool. I'm going to put 15, 20% of my money over here. Boom. You have it attached to your checking account. They're going to give you a Visa debit card and you have instant access to that money. Because here's what I want you to realize about some of your high yield savings account. Some of these high yield savings account, they honestly put a cap on how much money you can transfer back into your checking account. Like, for example, I just looked at mine because I was like, what is mine? Mine is $5,000 a day. So this means if I have a $10,000 emergency, I can do $5,000 today and $5,000 tomorrow. But I can't do $10,000 today if I have a $10,000 emergency that needs to be fixed today. With SoFi, if you put your money into that account, right, you just transfer that money to your checking account and you can use your debit card. Here's something that we tend to overlook, which is number 6. Some of you are going to get very upset with me when I say this, but it is what it is. Y'all, we got to stop buying brand new cars. I was explaining this to my class a couple of weeks ago. I said, man, we got to understand that brand new cars, unless you have a net worth of, I would say, $1 million or higher, you should not be buying any brand new cars. Here's why. Because the moment you pull off the lot, on average, depending on the kind of car that you purchase, you're losing anywhere between 18 to 23% of your income. None of us, me included, we are not in a financial position to where we can just throw away money. I am not in a financial position to where if I bought a $80,000 car, that I'm in a position to where I can just lose $15,000, $16,000 on that car. No way. Absolutely not. Brand new cars lose value the moment you turn that ignition and you drive off that lot. You can literally buy you a $50,000 car today at the time of you watching this. You drive off the lot, you come back tomorrow. You only put 20 miles on the car. They're only going to give you maybe $28,000 to $32,000 for that car, and you just spent $50,000. This is why I suggest buying a quality used car 3 to 5 years old. All of my cars are right at that 4-year mark. You all know I have a Bentley. It's when I bought it, it was 3 years old. My truck is 4 years old, right? And so it was like, for me, I'm always looking at, okay, and here's a tip. And this is what I tell people, man, do your research when you're buying. Like I like luxury cars. That is something where I do spend my money on. This is something that, man, I try to make sure I don't make a financial mistake in this area because I can. And I have before with cars. You all know me. It is cars. I've turned into cars when I should not have done it because I bought it out of just in the wrong season, in the wrong time, for the wrong reason, right? But now that I'm in the season of my life, I said, all right, cool, great. I took my time. I saved up the money, paid for it cash. But I was making sure that I bought it right, went car shopping, right? And I made sure that I had it correctly. But I like luxury cars. So for me, when it comes to a luxury car, I look at, okay, cool, great. For an example, a lot of your luxury cars tend to change the models of their cars every 7 to 10 years. It's like in the Bentley world, it's like every 10 years. In that Mercedes and BMW world, it's like every 5 to 7 years. So for me, I'll go ahead and get, like if I was buying a BMW or Mercedes, I would buy like, okay, a 4-year-old version, as long as it's within the same model of this car. Why? Because if I buy and they change every 5 to 7 years, I got another 2 to 3 years of that same model coming out, the same body frame. Now they may change those small things on the inside, but it's cool. As long as I like that body and I can get another 2 to 3 years within that body, okay, cool, great. One of the main reasons why I will not be trading my car in until about 2032, 2033 is because my cars, they change every 10 years. So cool, great. I'm gonna drive it for another 2 years after that because it's like, why? Right? I'm with those prices come down tremendously. Then I'll trade my car in, pay cash, boom, and do my thing. But it's like, you got to get very strategic. You got to get very smart. Like buy something nice, but do a little bit of research. Okay, cool, great. When did this body style come out? It's 2025. This body style came out in 2023. So this means I got about 7 years before they change the body style, and I lose a little bit more depreciation on my car. Okay, cool, great. So I could buy it, get a 3 or 4-year-old. Boom, I'm in a luxury car. Boom, great. So I don't spend that much money, but I got the same body style that people are spending maybe $50,000, $60,000 more on. Now I'm smart. Which leads me to this next thing. We tend to buy cars because we want to keep up with the Joneses. I'm gonna skip over that. I'm not gonna skip over it, but I'm gonna leave it right there. Y'all, number 7, don't keep up with the Joneses. Because my question is, who in the heck are the Joneses to you? The Joneses ain't paying none of your bills. The Joneses don't care about your life. The Joneses don't even care who you are. Because trying to keep up with them can lead to overspending on things you don't really need or you even want. Focus on your own financial goals and prioritize what matters to you and to your family. Don't let the pressure of others dictate your choices. If someone in your life can accept you for where you are and who you are financially, not can, but can't accept you for where you are and who you are financially, they don't need to be in your life in the first place. Surround yourself with people who support your journey. Support your journey. Because I'm so open on my platform about where I am financially, because I teach finances, I come across a lot of people who just want to connect with me and they think I'm gonna drop money over here and drop money over there. And I tell them, no, I got a goal for 2025. Man, I'm investing more. I'm stepping back on my finances. I'm even stepping back within our company, right? Like, hey, I'm just gonna step back and do some things because I have this goal to do school. I have this goal to invest into this place. I have this goal just to be content with where I am. And if you can't be a friend, if you can't be a lover, if you can't be a family member, if you can't be a team member that understands that and supports that, you just can't be a part of the process. God bless you. I wish you well. Because you know what? One of the main things that I think a lot of us are skipping over is I want to leave a legacy. And that's number 8. Don't leave this earth without leaving your family anything. Do not go through 2025 without preparing for transition into heaven. You see, not having a life insurance policy, not having a fully executed estate plan that includes a will, a trust that you can leave to your family, you're not being a good steward of your time. Because your family, your loved ones, the people who you love should not be burdened with extra stress. Life insurance and well-planned estate plan provide security and clarity, ensuring your loved ones aren't left with financial drama, financial issues, because the truth of the fact is the only thing they should be missing when you leave is you. Not missing money, not stressing about how they're going to pay bills. You see, leaving something behind allows you to continue caring for your family, even after you're no longer here. And that's something truly worth doing. Here's the last two things. Number 9, don't make the mistake of not saving for retirement. And don't be afraid, number 10, to invest into the stock market. Listen, we saw a month or so ago how Nvidia crashed. We saw how China launched this brand new AI situation and company stocks just dropped. But that's always going to happen in the market. That wasn't a time for us to pull out. To be honest with you, that was a time for us to actually invest more. I actually went in there and bought more stocks. Now, watch this. I don't believe in single stocks as your foundation of building wealth. I believe in having a crucial amount of money, which I think I'm going to talk about this on the next show. I believe in having a foundation of mutual funds, IRAs, HSAs, etc., 401ks, etc. I believe in having that foundation because that's going to be your wealth building formula with a little bit of real estate in there, with a little bit of, self-employed business in there. But if you have the foundation, purchasing stock, like using apps like Moomoo, to where if you give them $100, well, if you invest $100 into their stocks, they'll give you 5 free stocks. But if you invest up to $2,000, they'll give you up to I think it's like 100 free stocks. I can't remember. We'll put their information inside of today's show notes. But it's like, it is amazing of how if you honestly step back and really get control of your finances, get on that budget. Get on a budget. Look at areas where you can change your life, where you can maneuver things around to where you can create more margin. One, to attack your debt so we're not paying out interest to our slave owners, to where now we have more margin to where we can build and invest that into our future, to position ourselves to make sure that we are not having to work to 80 years old, to where we're making sure that we're not having to do things that we have to do at 70. No, we want freedom at 70. We want freedom at 50, 55 years old. So you got to invest. You got to think about your retirement age. Hear me clearly, my students who are watching this show and my E3 family who are watching this show. If you're in your 20s, do not make the decision like the most of us have made in our 20s that we didn't invest. I get it, man. The latest Jordans, the latest, Gucci purse. One of my students told me, man, he bought a Gucci purse for his girlfriend. I was like, bro, I ain't mad at you, man. If I could go back to the day to those days and times when I was 20 years old, man, I would take that Gucci money. Actually, back then it was Coach. We did Coach and Dooney and Burt's back in the 90s. I would have taken that money and I would have got her some stock. I would have opened up a mutual fund. Hey, babe, here, happy birthday. Here go $100 in a mutual fund for you. Let me sow into your future. Because watch this, even if we, clearly, I'm not married, so all of my girlfriends didn't work out in the past for my reasons, not blaming them at all. For me, I take full accountability. At least when they left me, they have some level of investment. And that's something that I'm doing now. Is that when I date, the next person who I date, man, when I want to bless them, yeah, I'm gonna buy them, nice things. But I want to make sure that I'm sowing into their life and into their future. I'm a sow into their business if she comes to me with a business. I'm a sow into her education if she's coming to me with while she's in school. I'm a sow into a good mutual fund, into a good, maybe buy some stocks from her from the Moo account. And we're going to drop the Moo information inside of today's show notes. But we got to start changing our mind from this impressive, this small mindset to, man, how do we live a life of abundance? You know what? It's like, how do we live a life? How do we live a life of, I'm building a tower. I'm building a tower, not a trailer. Woo. Speaking of towers, I think it's over in Luke chapter 14, verse 28. It says that suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? We can't build something if we don't sit down and estimate the cost, aka put it on a budget. We can't build something of substance, I'm saying of substantial, of something substantial that we do not sit down. Say, you know what, I'm building this. I want to do this. How do I do this? Some of you all, before I close today's show, some of you need to go back and look at my previous shows. I talked about, and there was a video called How to Have the Best Year of 2025. I teach this earn method that I really need you to go back into, to watch and do. Because David Goggins, I love his book. He says, you are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. It goes back to a quote that I say all the time. Don't allow your comfort zone to become your kill zone. Listen, avoiding these 10 financial mistakes will help you avoid being a part of the statistics we talked about at the beginning of this show. It will put you on the right path to financial freedom. Let me be honest with you. It's not going to guarantee you're not going to run into any trouble. Because to this day, I run into trouble. To this day, I have stressful days where I got to figure out certain things. But here's the best part. It's never too late to start making the changes. The key is to stay disciplined. It's to stay focused on your long-term goals. Remind yourself every single day that your future self is depending on the actions and the choices that you're taking today. Listen, I'm over my time by 10 minutes. We have been saying for the last 2 years, we're going to try and get to a 30-minute show. And boy, I just love talking because the preacher comes out of me. But when I get to teach it, man, I just want to make sure that I give it to y'all. I hope today's show blessed you. I hope that you will check out my friends over there at Kickoff. Please make sure that you check them out, give them a try, give them a 90 days try. It's cost you $5. And I promise you, you'll thank me later. All right. Hey, it's your boy Anthony ONeal. God bless you. And I'll see you the next time. Peace out.